I bet you have fallen for this manipulation trick many times. Certainly I have. And when it's about small choices, like if your wife wants to convince you to go to a certain restaurant, it doesn't really matter so much. But when it comes to big decisions like which house to buy or where to invest your money, then this becomes much more important. Because if you don't understand how this tendency works, chances are you will make big mistakes that you will regret later. So what is this tendency I'm talking about? Well, let me explain. If someone is trying to convince you to do something, you might find it easy to resist. But if they give you one or two reasons why you should agree to this or why you should do this, then you're much more likely to actually do it. And Charlie Munger, he describes this tendency in his book, Poor Charlie's Almanac, in the chapter, The Psychology of Human Misjudgment. He calls it the reason-respecting tendency. And he makes one example in the book about an experiment where people were waiting in line to make copies. And then one person was trying to cross the line to make copies of their own. And if they gave one reason, even if it was a bad one, they were much likely to accept that this person cut the line. For example, if they only said, I need to make copies, and then the others accepted that they crossed the line. So now that we know how this tendency works, imagine a situation where you're about to buy a house and a realtor is trying to convince you to buy the more expensive one that you really cannot afford or that will give you financial troubles later. And they start giving you reasons why this is the best option for you. Or imagine the situation where a banker tries to convince you to invest in an actively traded mutual fund with a 1% fee, and they give you the reason that it's such a good option because it is environmentally friendly. Then you might actually do this even though it has an enormous fee of 1% that will in the long run cost you maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not even millions. So in these situations we need to ask ourselves, how can I make the most rational decision here? Are the reasons they're giving really valid, or are they just trying to persuade me to make a decision that is good for them but not for me? We can also use this tendency for good. One person who really knew about this was Carl Brown, who designed oil refineries. He created a system where if an instruction was given in one of these oil refineries, they needed to explain why this job or this project was important. And if the person forgot to explain why it was important, they were fired. That is how important he thought this was. Because if someone knows why they're doing a particular job, they will do a much better job and they will do it in a shorter time than if they have no clue why they're doing it. Imagine a group of people who are just instructed to make brick walls. They may take a long time to do it and they may not do such a good job. But if they know they're building a new hospital in the city where these people live, then they naturally have a motivation because it's something that is valuable to society. Then they will do a much better job. So anytime we're giving instructions to someone, we should include why they should be doing this. And do you know why this is important to learn? Well, we want to avoid being manipulated into making decisions that are good for other people, but that are bad for us. And I can tell you, when you start learning these tactics that I describe in these videos, you will start to see straight through when other people are trying to manipulate you. And it's really fun and interesting to see when people are trying to use these tactics on you, but you're not falling for them. And to see how the other people respond when you're not buying into their bullshit. And the other reason why this is really important is that we want to be able to make better instructions. This will make us a better boss if we have employees. It will make us a better entrepreneur if we hire other people or have contractors who do projects for us. This will also help us in the communication with our partner or our kids, because if we can explain why something is important to us, we will be better at communicating and we will have better relationships. So great hanging out as always. If you know anyone who needs to become better at communicating or who has been easily taken advantage of in the past, send them this video. It might really help them. I can also really recommend the other videos in this series about Charlie Munger and how to make more rational decisions. Do me a favor and give this video a like. More people deserve to hear about Charlie Munger's wisdom. Have a great day. See you soon.